So, but that's taken care of. I didn't expect it, like I said, to be so much, but I needed them. So then we went to the dispensary because we went to this place and got some shit because they're having 50% off. So I was like, I'll just get some shit for the next week or so to last me. So now I'm back here. They trying to figure out what they're going to go eat, but I've been working and running all day, so I'm tired now.
So are you gonna stay the night down there, or stay the weekend or something?
What you say, Paris? Hold on, baby.
Yo, Boozy, back in the motherfucking building.
She already got her shoes on. I don't know. What you think? I haven't decided yet. Simone asked me to come over, but I was just telling Paris every time I come home, people always be like, come see me, come see me, come see me. I'm not trying to go see nobody right now. Just because, like, I got here and got changed. The Paris came and got me, then we drove over to see my brother, had that visit, then drove back here. To drive back into the city for my eye appointment, or back into town for my eye appointment at the dispensary. Oh, and stop at Charlie's. And I got gas, because gas is like $3.70. But $60 for my tank. I was like, damn. But yeah, all the other shit I did, I just was like, ready to come back to the house. Because I was just here spoken. Like I said, I think they're gonna go get some food, so if they do, we'll probably wait for them to meet me and get it out. I was intending to stay out here for the whole weekend initially, but I'm not going. I kind of want to come back because I know I'm nervous because all the lights are on in my car.
Yeah. I can't pull this fucking app up to turn this music off.
And my car insurance.
That's up to you. Well, you always complain about not seeing your people and not spending time with your people. So if you're down there, you might as well see all your cousins and everybody else. I don't know why this thing taking so long to load, man. Come on. I don't think I heat my chicken up enough. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, that's true, Boozy. See family when you can, and they're a blessing. And when they're gone, you're gonna miss them.
That's true. I mean, I did see them last weekend. But
that's my thing too because I used to try to go home all the time, but bro, I don't really try to. I used to make it a point to go home twice a year. But now, like, after doing that shit for so many years and none of my family don't really make that effort to come up here. And I know it's a long-ass ride and shit, but now they cut it back to just going home once a year.
None of my cousins have come to visit me. At least one of your cousins did come visit me. None of my cousins have come to visit me yet. The only people that have been there have been my mother and my stepfather.
Yeah.
Simone already knows he's welcome anytime. So, like, I could go over there, and I might, because I want to see, my cousin Fred's best friend. But, like I said, I just drove 3 hours to get out here. Y'all could pull up on me.
Facts.
It ain't like my mama ain't your auntie.
You lost your uncle last year, and you wish you made more effort to see him. I got one uncle I'm really close to, yo. Well, I'm close to all my uncles, but one of my uncles, like, this nigga always be like, oh nephew, why you don't call me? Why you don't call me? I tried to call this dude the other day, motherfucking phone number changed. And that's why I don't fuck with y'all. Y'all niggas can't keep the same goddamn phone number for longer than 2 years. One of my cousins, man, this chick, she changed her number like every year. Like, how I'm supposed to keep up with y'all? Y'all keep changing y'all number, then y'all don't get nobody the fucking new number. And then talking about, oh, why you don't call me? I'm listening to you, babe. I'm in here talking to Jay Boozy.
Now my grandfather, he fucks around with kids, so I don't really call him now. But I have his conversations when I was younger, so I interact with him or like whatever. And I like call him on Father's Day or like his birthday. And I would probably, I'm not gonna lie, this year for Christmas, I don't know if you're gonna be going, if you want to go, but I will probably try to go see him for Christmas because he's not doing good. But like, he ain't call me. I don't call him. That's how my father's so good. I know that's the last grandmother I had, but
Nah, you know, I mean,
I'm on her.
I'm on live stream on the phone, so it's not no big deal, bro. But she's just trying to debate if she's gonna come home tonight or just stay down there for the weekend. Her parents came up last weekend and chilled with us for a day, half a day. But now she's down at home, and so.
I saw my brother this morning. That was the most important thing, was to get my eyes checked and see my brother.
Yeah, well.
I saw my brother. I saw my sister-in-law. I bought him some snacks. We had a good little visit. My brother will be home less than a year. That's crazy. But like, yeah, I know he be feeling some type of way because I used to come see him every single weekend, but I'm not home anymore. And that's what he told his girlfriend. He gonna say, Reese started liking boys and she stopped loving me. I'm like, duh. I started liking boys more than 10 years ago, sir. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
But you know how siblings are.
Yeah.
Motherfucker 3 hours away talking about I don't come see him no more. Like, I wonder why. My man got me in the far, far away range.
Well, when I was on the phone with Monty, he was talking about his siblings a lot too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he's the eldest.
Mhm.
See, yeah, he probably has a different perspective. I'm the baby. I'm my father's middle child, but I'm my mother's baby and the only girl in my house. Like, I didn't grow up my dad's kids, so I was the only girl. Besides my mom and my grandma, I guess we had some balance, but always a house full of boys. I can't even imagine being the like older sibling. But are they close in age or are they spread out?
Um, I think it's like um 18, 14, 11, and 9.
Okay. I mean that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Him and the 14-year-old could be pretty close because me and my brother are 5 years apart, but our birthdays are only like a week apart though.
Yeah.
Would you talk to him? I know he's just answered, but excuse me. I want to have a cookout.
What?
I want to have a cookout. I should have called Darnell ahead of time because normally we have cookouts at his house every year. Should have called him ahead of time and could have like arranged something, but I don't know. It was nicer today. Like 10 degrees, I think probably 10 degrees warmer than back home.
Well, it wasn't bad out today. I put on one of my sweatsuits when I left the house. I was kind of hot actually. I could have.
Yeah, me too. I got on a North Face and I was like, yo, no.
Yeah, I could have went out with a short sleeve shirt on today with if I or like a thin a thin long sleeve. When I went out there with that fucking sweater on, I was riding with the windows down and like it was pretty nice today.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yo, I just got some shit called Melonade. Melonade, Cinderella 99, and I don't know what else.
Cinderella 99.
Yeah, I've had it before. I can't remember exactly how it made me feel. Wow, I gotta get a picture of this. Hold on. What the hell? I'll call you right back. I gotta get a video of this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna go to Maryland and see my brother and hang out. That's fine. Been texting and calling me all day. I thought you supposed to be hanging out and chilling with other people. Why do you keep calling me? Why you? Damn. I never heard of that shit before. It's going right back, bruh. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know if that was like a chemtrail or what that was. I sent you a video. It might take you a minute to get it. I was like, yo, and then it just like disappeared. Like it's just gone now.
No. If it was there and then disappeared, it's probably not a chemtrail. It's probably just a contrail.
Probably. That's why at first, like, no, it was there, but then I'm like, okay, the little thing is just gone, like, completely. But I knew my eyes weren't deceiving me, because sometimes we're real close to the proving grounds and stuff, and, like, all the military bases. So we always hear a lot of things and see a lot of things going over, and it's not, like, unusual.
No, but that's how it's supposed to look. When jets fly that high, there's a little tail of smoke, and then as the jet goes, the smoke disappears. And that's normal. And that's what everybody says.
Yeah, no, it's gone now.
Okay. Yeah. And everybody says, oh, chemtrails are contrails. I'm like, no, it's not. Chemtrails stay in the air for hours and they don't disappear. That's not normal.
But that's the thing. Do all chemtrails stay in the air for hours? Because I feel like some of them only stay up there for a second. Like, does it depend on, like, the, whatever they put in it? Like, the potency or,
no.
like, is that how it works? Because I don't really know.
They don't really disappear. They just... No, they don't disappear. They dissipate and spread out, and then they start looking like clouds, but they're not clouds.
And then it falls down.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, like, you're like, for hours, it could dissipate hypothetically in 30 or 45 minutes, right?
Not that I've ever seen.
That's what I'm saying, because that's what I normally see, like 30 to 60 minutes. And I see those too, but like I said, for the most part, it's not here. But I always see it in the backyard. Like all those photos of the pink skies and the moon and everything I've taken has been right here in my mother's backyard. And like, I've seen some crazy shit. Like some of that shit we watch with Dre OG, I be like, I don't know what the hell that is. But I'm not like everybody else on the internet. I don't want to show people what I see in my backyard so I can come up with it. So you streaming, but you get ready to leave too?
Yeah, he's not gonna be here till like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I figured I would paint for an hour.
Yeah, so you got time? What, Chipotle? I guess, not really. Alright, is that the consensus? Y'all put it on Chipotle?
Only ratchet people eat from Chipotle.
Tell him again. Travis said that. Travis, don't do this when I first encounter.
See, you sound.
Travis doesn't want to meet me like this.
You sound ratchet.
I love Chipotle.
That's ratchet. That I love Chipotle. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You have subpar taste buds. Your palate has not matured.
No vibration. You got a low vibrational plate. She got a low vibrational plate. She tried to get me to go to Bishop Barbecue too. I said I can eat that at home, but we don't Bishop Barbecue.
Chipotle is like Taco Bell on crack. That's all it is. All right, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Mm-mm. Back in the day, when they was getting the franchise off the ground, shit was delicious. Shit done went downhill now, bro. That shit is ass now. You know? I remember the first time I went to Chipotle, it was just like, I think it was in Virginia. And somebody was like, oh, Chipotle, let's go to Chipotle. And I was like, man, this is fucking Taco Bell. It's a mixture between Taco Bell and Subway. Everybody want to eat that shit. What? If you came in wrapped like a burrito, they'll give you a burrito for free? I don't like Chipotle, but I like free food. I might have to go get me a thing of aluminum foil. You know what I'm saying? Y'all shit nasty, but I'll eat it if I ain't gotta pay for it. If I don't got to pay, I'm all in. Make sure I take some Tums or something. Oh, let me turn this on. Alright, got about a good 40 minutes. Damn, that shit loud. Got about a good 40 minutes. Like I said, my homie gonna call me in a minute when he on his way. Oh, damn. Well, he said it's 6:30. I got like 30 minutes, really. It's all good. Let's see what we can do in 30 minutes. Because I am enjoying this painting. I ain't gonna lie, yo. This shit is fun right now. Damn right, it might be worth the shot for free eats. And even if they don't do it anymore, it might be that one manager there to be like, you know what? At least you tried, bro. Here, let me hook you up with something. Damn, I got chicken in my teeth. I wish I had a toothpick up here. I don't got time to run and get one. So what colors do I need now? I need, let's see where we're at. I really need to finish this little, just this one little spot right there. So that needs, damn, I can't really see how that shit look. Alright, yellow. I got the yellow there. And then I'm gonna need red, yellow. Alright, let me see real quick how I can work this little piece. Alright, let's put something on the sound. See if Steven Crowder got a video out. No. Oh, here's Russell Brand talking about Twitter. The Twitter takeover.
How extreme is Jim Bognet? Jim Bognet
I'm actually gonna lift this up a little bit too. Let's see.
Criminalizing abortion here in Pennsylvania. No exceptions for rape or incest. No exceptions to save a woman's life.
No exceptions? Nurses like me could go to jail. That's too extreme.
Jim Bognet has no business making that decision for me.
Yo, it is dope, right? That shit
Stop Jim
looking
Bognet
good, bro.
from banning abortion in Pennsylvania.
Once I get her shirt done, oh man, at least get this first layer on her shirt. Yo, say that. When she came dressed that day for the pictures, that was my first thought. Like, oh my god, it's gonna be time consuming to paint this shirt, but it's nice though.
For around $5.39 per month.
Stay free with me, Russell Brand.
Man, Kanye too smart, man, for these motherfuckers, bro. Goddamn, I feel like he's at a point in his life, in his financial career, where he feel like he can just tell the truth, and people hate that shit. Dave Chappelle said that shit good as fuck a long time ago, yo. Matter of fact, let me pull that clip up real quick. Dave Chappelle talks about Hollywood.
When Martin Lawrence was in that chair, we talked about Blue Streak.
I love that.
He played a role in your life, I believe. How do you feel about him as a person, as an artist?
Martin Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from D.C. to Hollywood. And I had a personal stake in his success. Every time he did something, it made me feel inspired and really good. And he was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, what's going on with you, baby boy? What? We'd talk about comedy, whatever. And, you know, when we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? And he said, I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
And that's all Kanye is trying to tell
What happened
people,
to
you
Dick?
know, like motherfuckers get to that level of success and get around certain people and become a part of certain industries and stuff. And then when they learn how the shit really operates, either it's two things: you can lay down or get down. And Kanye West is tired of laying down, so he about to get down with the fucking truth and start telling motherfuckers how shit really is. And they don't like that. They don't like when somebody says, you know, most media, entertainment, and news outlets are controlled by like a small group of people, whether they be Jews or whoever they are. He's just saying like, look, man, these motherfuckers trying to handle us in a certain way, and he's refusing to be handled like that. And so now he just trying to expose this shit. And of course, here comes the backlash. Because you're not supposed to be thinking for yourself. You're not supposed to be telling people who aren't in the business how the business really operates. And so now he's being blackballed, persecuted, labeled as crazy. He's getting all his deals and mergers and sponsorships, all that shit is getting canceled because he's talking too much. And it's not that he's saying anything wrong. He's saying too much shit that's true. And yeah, he has a weird personality, and he has a weird way of expressing himself when he talks to people. Like, I've listened to a couple interviews and conversations, and yeah, he just has, his mind works a different way, you know what I'm saying? And so when he explains things or describe things, it just sounds kind of weird, but you gotta really listen to what the fuck he be saying. And I feel like that dude would be okay. You know what I'm saying? He yay. He'll be alright. But we're still in the midst of this council culture shit where if somebody says something that upsets the wrong people, you get silenced, you get blackballed, you get ostracized, you get deplatformed, and you get stripped away of all your achievements. And then, like Dave Chappelle said, then they try to label you as crazy. When you know you're not crazy, people just don't want to listen to what the fuck you got to say because it sounds so outlandish, but it's still the fucking truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth is what the truth is, and that's all the truth ever gonna be. But if he runs for president again, will I vote for him? Probably not. But do I understand him? Most definitely. Most definitely, I understand where the brother's coming from. You know what I'm saying? And that's because he's not the only person that's ever said that. Anybody with you know, any kind of common sense should be able to tell that Hollywood is not what it's cracked up to be. At all. It just isn't. No, Martin don't get enough credit. Martin was the inspiration and the lead man for a lot of people, yo. That's why his TV show was so popular back in the day. He was a real funny ass dude, man. But nobody don't want to hear that part.
People say my generation doesn't vote, but we're about to prove it. I've told so many of my friends already to vote Josh Shapiro for governor on November 8th. Make sure you are registered to vote and have a plan at iwillvote.com and send Doug Mastriano a packet.
And there goes the janky ass internet. Damn, I can't wait till Monday till I can replace this shit, bro. I swear to God. I swear for God. Yep, we're just sitting here buffering, you know. No biggie, just a little buffer. Damn, this video really don't want to play.
Rumble, rocking and a rolling. With Twitter, Elon and a Muskin. We ask, is free speech finally back, baby? Is it time to strike up at the wildly light and...
Oh well, it was planned for a minute. Well, not a minute, a few seconds. Well, kids, that's all the fun you get to have.
That sweet bird that we call freedom, is it? That's what we're asking you. We live in a time of shifting narratives, of shifting tales. Now that Elon Musk has got Twitter by the wings, pulling it about by the feathers, will it really change? We're going to be asking a lot of questions. What did he mean by that kitchen sink? Do you see Elon as a great hero? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Let's see how our friends over on the mainstream media reported on Elon Musk's takeover. Obviously, they're the people, I suppose, that have the most to lose. That's what's assumed. Let me know in the chat if you think this. It's like the mainstream media are against Elon Musk because what? Because he sort of seems to be a free speech advocate. You feel that under Elon Musk's stewardship, the Hunter Biden laptop story would have been released, not suppressed in the manner that it was. Are all these CIA dark ops folks going to get booted out? What is the concern that Alex Wagner on The Tonight Show, I'm sure that's how it's pronounced, on The Tonight Show has? We'll look at the mainstream media news reporting on Musk.
Breaking news tonight as it appears that Elon Musk has sealed the deal to take over Twitter. And this morning, he tweeted a message to advertisers using way more than 280 characters, I must add, where he promised that, quote, Twitter obviously cannot become a free-for-all hellscape.
Yeah, you don't have free-for-all hellscape.
No, be awful, wouldn't it?
Free-for-all hellscape.
I was so impressed by Tim Pool's celebratory tweet on learning that Elon's taken over. Let's have a look at that. You'll be familiar with it. Tim Pool simply posting the word ivermectin. Like, is there a single word that better sums up the transition that's just taken place? Let me know if you think it's good news, or is there more complexity to it than that? Certainly the narrative is shifting. The narrative around COVID is shifting. Do you feel sometimes that you're being invited to forget the news?
Elon Musk has sealed the deal to take over Twitter.
Right now, without further ado, speak to Mint Press's most glorious and golden son, the Scottish Alan McLeod. Hello, Alan.
You're right, guys. How you doing?
Oh, actually, we feel pretty upbeat and pretty happy. Now, there's been plenty of opposition to Musk's takeover, hasn't there, all over the mainstream media. Does that include government opposition, in your opinion, Alan?
Well, clearly, I mean, just this week, I mean, it's official. Elon Musk now owns Twitter.
Does he?
But there was lots of reporting going on in the last couple of weeks saying that the US government, the Biden administration, was actually conducting a national security review of the purchase beforehand. They were basically saying, like Bloomberg, for instance, said that the Biden administration was a bit worried, and I'm quoting here, as they see his increasingly Russia-friendly stance. Now, in reality, Musk has actually been pretty bullish on Ukraine. He's supported the Ukrainian government. He's even sent those Starlink telecommunications satellites over to Ukraine, which their army is using to target Russian military right now. However, he has said a lot of things online, saying things like, let's compromise, maybe we should negotiate, end this war. And that ultimately, for the US government, doesn't seem to be the right message. They're really not interested in that sort of, I don't want to say pro-peace, but at least give peace a chance message. And so ultimately, I want to say that isn't this very interesting that the US government can block some sort of purchase if the billionaire in question is not sufficiently pro-war enough? That's very worrying.
We spoke to Tulsi Gabbard yesterday, and it was a very good, and may I say, very professional interview. And she spoke about the influence and power of the military-industrial complex over the Democrat Party in particular. And I suppose if they're dabbling in apparently private takeovers between sort of private billionaires, then I suppose that is a suggestion that there is an agenda being asserted from somewhere. Do you think it simply is a financial agenda, or do you think it's an ideological agenda? Do you think it is driven by the military-industrial complex, or do you think that there is something beyond even that, Alan?
Well, the United States doesn't really make very much stuff anymore. They basically make weapons and, some food, and that's pretty much about it. Everything we now use is made in China or India or something. But one place where the United States does have still a lot of control is over media and telecommunications. And one of them is social media. So when you think about these big tech companies that we rely on, we like to think of them as sort of transnational, existing in the ether. But no, they're actually bricks and mortar companies, and nearly all of them are headquartered in California, and so they are subject to American laws. And not only that, my research over the past couple of years into big tech companies and who is actually making the decisions about content, moderation, trust, and security, it really was very shocking to me and to people who've read it. I was really interested in this when the big tech companies basically decided en masse to ban Donald Trump. I really wanted to know who was actually making the decisions, but they're really opaque. And I couldn't really get any sort of answers or any sort of information off of their websites.
Didn't you consider trying a little bit harder and stop being so lazy? Now, what will be the repercussions for the security agencies working inside Twitter that you've written about in your, some are saying not hard enough working investigative journalism career? What will happen to those embedded CIA, FBI type agents, please, mate?
Ultimately, I don't know. If people aren't aware, Twitter is absolutely chock-a-block full of FBI, CIA, and NATO agents, or ex-CIA NATO agents. For instance, Dawn Burton in 2019 left her job as an FBI special agent, and then she just was parachuted into Twitter and became the senior director of strategy and operations for public policy, trust, and safety. And there are many more examples like this. For instance, one of the chief people on Facebook's Trust, Safety and Moderation team is Aaron Berman, who until 2019 was one of the most senior CIA agents going. He was actually writing the presidential daily briefs that Obama and Trump read every day, although I think Trump just had them read out to him, actually. But yeah, ultimately, a lot of people really don't understand how deeply embedded national security.
Trump said those things was boring. Like, he didn't want to read those briefings. That's what we had some. We did it. You're the only one doing investigative journalism, Alan. We are as well. And one of the things we investigated and then journaled was that Trump finds them things boring, and they used to pretend that he was in them to keep him. Hey, you lot have been doing that to me, I've noticed. Well, it's a good bit of news about you, Russell. Go on, tell me a bit more about it. And here's some other news. Elon Musk over Twitter. Oh, really? Should we go with the Elon Musk one? So, yeah, they are deeply embedded, and they are high-level officials. So this is not just some, I don't know, like, it's beyond a revolving door. It's an amorphous and diaphanous connection, a sort of symbiosis that's ongoing that challenges the very idea of them being separate entities. Alan, did your increasingly half-hearted seeming research throw up any insights into how come Jeff Bezos was allowed to buy the Washington Post, please, sir?
Well, I think ultimately a lot of people in Washington don't really like Elon Musk. He's not exactly an outsider. I mean, he's literally the richest man in the world, after all. But at the same time, in Washington, there is an extraordinary consensus about all sorts of things to do with politics, the economy, and how the world should work. Ultimately, Musk is a bit of a loose cannon in that sense. He'll just throw out anything, and on Monday he'll say this, on Tuesday he'll say this, and it's quite hard to keep him under wraps. Bezos, on the other hand, really plays the game very much down the center, and so ultimately hasn't ruffled any feathers in Washington like Musk has. And so ultimately, I think that's one of the reasons why there wasn't too much pushback to Bezos buying the Post. But there has been a little bit of ruffled feathers in terms of Musk coming over to Twitter.
Watch entire episodes on demand for free at rumble.com/Russell Brand.
I got the Rumble app, but I need to use it more and like follow more channels on there.
Hey, you matter. Elections matter. So vote by November 8th.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. The Babylon Bee is one of the last English language satire sites left on the internet. And no, we're not counting the Daily Beast or the Atlantic Magazine, neither of which makes people laugh on purpose. The Babylon Bee, by contrast, is intentionally amusing and it succeeds, mostly because it is sharp and it's honest. This March, the site published a piece with the headline, "The Babylon Bee's Man of the Year is Rachel Levine." The article was funny because it pointed out that Rachel Levine is himself pretty funny. Here you have a man dressed up like a woman in makeup and purple glasses, wearing some kind of admiral's uniform, pretending to be the Assistant Secretary of Health when he looks like a candidate for an imminent heart attack himself. So the whole outfit is a riot. It's like a Halloween costume some clever drunk college student dreamed up. This year I'm going as an obese transvestite health admiral. You'd laugh if you saw him at a party. But the Biden administration can't allow you to laugh at Rachel Levine or at Karine Jean-Pierre or Kamala Harris or any of the other transparently absurd figures that pretending are running our country, or for that matter, at Biden himself, who somehow they tell you got, quote, 81 million votes despite being senile and rarely going outside. It's all pretty funny when you think about it, but you can't laugh. And you can't laugh because humor is the most subversive thing. Once you start noticing the pure, hilarious ridiculousness of the people in charge, you may be much less likely to obey them. So it's absolutely vital that somebody wipe that smirk off your face by force if necessary. So Twitter immediately banned the Babylon Bee from its site for the crime of making fun of Rachel Levine. So you've heard that story, you've heard other stories like it, but here's what's interesting about this one. Elon Musk, wherever he was at the time, noticed this happening, and he was appalled. He wasn't appalled because he's an ideological conservative, richest man in the world, and he didn't get that way by being a right-wing political activist. He's a business guy. To the extent Musk has politics, they seem to be traditional civil liberties-oriented liberal. But banning a comedy site for mocking someone in power seemed totalitarian to Elon Musk. So Musk called the head of the Babylon Bee, Seth Dillon, and told him that he, quote, might need to...
I've really been just playing, not gonna lie, yo, they gave us a Need for Speed for free last month with PlayStation Plus. That's like the main game I've really been playing. Just some classic arcade racing. And this Twitter shit is so fire right now because the left wants to be able to cancel whoever they want. Just like they silenced Donald Trump, they silenced Alex Jones, they took what's the other dude recently, the kickboxer guy? Damn, I can't think of his name right now. He's like an Arab dude or whatever the fuck he is, but he's a kickboxer. They silenced his ass. And Elon Musk is like, yo, if I ran that fucking company, all that shit wouldn't be happening, yo. This is a public platform. This is the digital town hall where everybody should be able to come and voice their opinions as long as it's not hate speech. And people are like, well, you can't say this and you can't say that. And Elon Musk said, look, we already got laws, rules, and regulations against all kind of hate speech and whatever and all that shit. We don't need to like micromanage everybody else. There's already laws in place, and that's the only thing I'm going to go by. Whatever federal laws and constitutional laws that allow people the freedom of speech, we're just going to do that. And we're not going to add anything else. We're not going to silence people and deplatform people because they said something that hurt someone's feelings. You have the right to do that. And if someone did say something that hurts your feelings, change the fucking channel. Don't listen to them. Don't feed into it. There's tons of ways to avoid these things. You know, don't follow them on social media. But it's like, no, these people should not have a voice at all. And Elon Musk is not playing that shit. He says everybody has a voice. And that's one of the best things about the American Constitution, is because that's the first thing that's upheld is the freedom of speech. You can't be persecuted for speaking your mind. I don't give a fuck if the KKK is up there and saying all black people are ignorant and they're lesser than. Okay, that's like your opinion, bro. You know, that's like your opinion. If that's what you think, fine. But you still should be able to say it. You know, if somebody says, oh, white people smell like wet dogs. Oh, he hurt my feelings. Well, don't listen to him. Get off his Twitter page. As long as motherfuckers ain't saying, you know, calling for direct, outright violence, we should kill and assassinate XYZ, or, you know, such and such group doesn't deserve to live and we're going to put an end to them or something like that, I can understand that. Now that's hate speech. But if motherfuckers just voicing their opinions and somebody says, oh, well, I think Kanye's crazy. Oh, that's your opinion. Oh, I don't think Elon Musk should run the company. Okay, that's your opinion. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. As long as you're not calling for violence or calling for bodily harm to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Have at it, motherfuckers. And that's what they're scared of. They really don't want people to have freedom of speech, believe it or not, you know. They don't want motherfuckers to have open discourse and conversation and to freely pass ideas and information between one another. And so, you know, they got to find a way to silence motherfuckers. And Elon Musk said he ain't having it. And that's why the deal was kind of like shaky for a while, because motherfuckers already know what he gonna do. And so when he first said he was going to buy the company. That was like last year or way earlier this year. Probably further than that, because you know these talks be underway a long time, or at least a little while before, you know, the news hit mainstream, and then like normal people like us, you know, start to get information about what they talked about in private. So he's probably been, you know, offering deals for this company for a long time. And now he finally did it. Now, is this going to make the platform more popular? I don't know. Is it going to make him more popular? I don't know. But so far, I like it. I just like the fact that he's stirring things up. And when rich people and politicians get scared, it's more than likely because something is not going to work in their favor and they're losing some type of control. And that's all they care about, is controlling the narrative. If you can control the narrative, you can control the people. And that was that, like he brought up, like Russell Brand brought up, that fucking Hunter Biden laptop shit. That news was out. Like, it was well known, his dealings with Ukraine and his drug habit and the fucking whores and all of this shit, possible incest in the Biden family. And the news outlets got hold to the story, and it was like, well, we can't share this shit before the election, because that would turn a lot of people against him, and he would definitely lose if you know, Democratic voters knew that his family was fucked up like this. Is this the type of morality you want to impose on our nation as a whole? You want this guy who has raised degenerate children, and he's just like this career politician who's basically, you know, has early onset dementia and don't know where he's at half the time or what the fuck he's saying most of the time? No, people would have took that information and was like, you know what, this guy might not be the best candidate, even no matter how much they hated Trump. Trump probably would have stayed in office if motherfuckers knew about that Biden shit, but they hid it. And so Elon Musk is like, this is an issue, and I'm not going to allow shit like this to continue if I ran the company. And now he runs the company. Andrew Tate. Yeah, that's the dude. Mr. Tate. They done fucking ostracized and blackballed his ass. Because he's a misogynist. Okay, whatever. If he's a misogynist, stay off his fucking platform. Don't listen to him. He hates women. That's your opinion. It's your opinion that he hates women. How can you really prove this? Oh, he says this about women and he says that about women. Well, don't fucking listen to him. If you don't like what he says, if you don't agree with his viewpoints and his arguments, don't fucking listen to him. How hard is that? Well, he influences a lot of young adults and shit. Well, that's up to the parents, man. And I know it's hard for parents to control the type of media that their children consume, but at the same time, you can still mitigate a lot of things just by talking to your kids, having conversations, and like allowing your children to be critical thinkers on their own, and teaching your kids how to think and not what to think. And that's the whole problem now, is like the government wants to tell us what to think. And people are tired of it. You're not going to constantly tell me what to fucking think. Oh, this is good because we say it's good and you need to accept it as good, and that's the only way you can think about it. No. I have a mind of my own, and I can come up with my own thoughts. And if your feelings get hurt, that's on you. And a lot of people are tired of it, man. We're just tired of this shit. I know Elon Musk better watch his ass because they're going to try to Michael Jackson that motherfucker. Now, if that dude ran for president, I would definitely vote for Elon Musk. All right, we getting there, making some good headway right now. All right, I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I'm gonna come back and try to do like 10 more minutes. Oh, that might be my homie texting right there. Shit. Still gotta run to the bathroom real quick.
Joe Porter.
Twitter. Isn't kidding. Yesterday, after months of legal drama, Musk did that. The bird is freed, he tweeted. Then he fired several of the company's top executives, including its CEO, Parag Agarwal. Within hours, he pledged to let people laugh online if they wanted, to let people who've been excluded from our public conversation speak, lifting the bans on the banned commentators on Twitter. That would include presumably Donald Trump, the former president, Project Veritas, a group of journalists, Alex Jones, and many thousands of others. Then Musk promised to make Twitter's algorithm transparent. What is Twitter's algorithm exactly? Well, we don't have any real idea because no one's seen it. We will now. Twitter will no longer be a publicly held company. It'll be a privately held company. And Musk has said he will show us exactly how it works. Apparently, the algorithm has effectively existed to censor conservatives on the basis of their political views. So now, in one day, people who could not speak will be allowed to speak. The playing field will be transparent, which is a prerequisite for fairness. Want to laugh on social media? You can. Seems like a big day. This seems like good news. And if your job was to defend freedom of the press, and it is the job of journalists to defend freedom of the press because they rely on it, you'd be pretty excited about this. We're not excited. Instead, journalists are panicked by this development. Watch.
I think he's a jerk. I think that he's cavalier. I think there's something dangerous when the richest guy in the world controls one of the most important political social platforms in the world. I think just as a guy who ran a business, you come in business and to fire the people before you even sit down with them just shows a cavalier recklessness. He reminds me of a Bond villain. As I said, when the richest guy in the world buys a social media platform, it's just not a good equation. I think.
Hyundai Sonata.
Why are you so fucking scared of Elon owning Twitter?
Hyundai Sonata wins every time. Lease a Sonata for $239 a month, or get 1,000 bonus cash with new inventory arriving.
Dangerous fella.
It's scary when rich people own media companies, says Donnie Deutsch, who inherited a media company from his own rich father. But he doesn't mean it. There's no principle here. No one at MSNBC means it. And that's because they're not complaining about, say, MSNBC's corporate owners, its billionaire owners at Comcast. They're not upset about the fact that Jeff Bezos, probably the second richest man in the world, owns the hometown newspaper of the government, the Washington Post. The Washington Post, owned by another billionaire, just published a tweet telling users how they can crush Twitter now that Elon Musk owns it. Quote, "If you do only one thing," the Post wrote, "lock down your ad settings on Twitter. Starve them out." The Washington Post reporters are also panicked that free speech might be back on Twitter. Taylor Lorenz, one of their most famous and thoroughly ridiculous reporters, had a particularly rough night. Quote, "It's like the gates of hell opened on the site tonight," she wrote. The gates of hell! People in the media, you may have noticed, spend their entire lives online. Gates of hell open when we run out of diesel fuel and the airlines don't work and people freeze to death. The gates of hell don't open when people get to say what they want on social media. Sorry, get some perspective, honey. But none of them have perspective. "It is sad," responded Frank Shaw, who works at the head of communications at Microsoft. Lorenz was upset because she makes her living by defaming people and then harassing them personally. But until last night, Twitter protected her and many journalists like her from any criticism whatsoever. Here was Gotti, chief censor at Twitter, the head lawyer, explaining why Twitter bans anyone who mocks journalists, because it's dangerous to mock journalists. Watch.
We were trying to understand the context of what was going on and take action on them. Because again, I don't know, Joe, if you've ever been the target of a dogpiling event on Twitter, but it is not particularly fun when thousands of people or hundreds of people are tweeting at you and saying things. And that can be viewed as a form of harassment. It's not about the individual tweet. It is about the volume of things that are being directed at you. I understand. And so in that particular case, we made the judgment call, and it is a judgment call, to take down the tweets that were responding directly to these journalists that were saying learn to code, even if they didn't have a wish of harm specifically attached to them because of what we viewed as coordinated attempt to harass them.
See how this works? So when you're a journalist, you can destroy people's lives in this country on behalf of a political party. You can totally crush them, get them fired from their jobs, to the point they literally lose custody of their children, which is happening now, by the way. You can do whatever you want if you're a journalist, but if anyone criticizes you, they have to be shut down because their criticism is violence. In this case, Twitter objected to the phrase learn to code. Now, that's a phrase specifically used to mock journalists because that's what journalists told coal miners to do when they lost their jobs. Learn to code. Not a threat in any way. It's not violence. It's a joke. Last night, you couldn't say it on Twitter. Of course, you could aim it downward. You could still tell coal miners to learn to code, but you couldn't tell people with power to learn to code. That's the point. Eliminate free speech. Who do you help? The people in charge. Only the powerful benefit from censorship. The editor of the Daily Caller was banned for telling the Daily Show to learn to code. Propagandists had protection from Twitter. That's the point. And they've lost it. Like The Verge are very upset. The Verge has published a profanity-laced screed. This amazing line, quote, most people do not want to participate in horrible, unmoderated internet spaces. Also, everyone crying about free speech conveniently ignores that the biggest threat to free speech in America is the effing government. Okay, well, that's true, but it's also a lie by omission. Because, in fact, Twitter was acting on behalf of the government. That's the point. We know that thanks to lawsuits filed by Alex Berenson and others. We know for a fact that Twitter censored political views at the behest of the White House and also at the behest of Pfizer. So the biggest company in the world, the biggest government in the world, get together and tell less powerful people they can't talk. And that's what the media are defending right now. So obviously they don't understand the concept of freedom of speech or why it's important or why Elon Musk bought Twitter. Joe Cirincione, a, quote, NatSec expert, member on the thoroughly discredited Council on Foreign Relations, wrote this last night, for example. Quote, I now approach every tweet as if it could be my last. Ooh, the self-dramatization of these people. They're such drama queens. Democratic Party lawyer Mark Elias was hysterical as well. Quote, I am here until he kicks me off. The thing is, Mark Elias isn't going to be kicked off Twitter now. We don't want him to be, by the way. We think everyone should be able to speak, period, because that's the basis of a free country. When you don't have that, you have totalitarianism. People who are benefiting from it support it. The whole point of the transaction is to make certain that everyone can talk. That's why Elon Musk did this. The point is to stop censoring all people, period. Popular account Comfortably Smug put it, quote, we're celebrating because we're free to say what we want. That's what they took from us, and that's why they're terrified now. Exactly. So the people who've always been able to say whatever they want are upset, not because their right to speech is under threat, because you now have the right to speech. And they hate that, because now it's more of a fair fight. Restoring free speech is the main reason that Elon Musk fired Parag Agrawal. That would be the head of Twitter, the loathsome head of Twitter, who went on the record in 2020 saying his goal was to block people from saying what they believe to be true. Watch.
Our role is not to be bound by the First Amendment, but our role is to serve a healthy public conversation. And our moves are reflective of things that we believe lead to a healthier public conversation. The kinds of things that we do to worry about this is to focus less on thinking about free speech, but thinking about how the times have changed. One of the changes today that we see is speech is easy on the internet. Most people can speak. Where our role is particularly emphasized is who can be heard.
So free speech isn't just a prerequisite for freedom, of course. Simply the first right guaranteed in the Bill of Rights, civic religion. It's what America is. Without free speech, it's not America, period. So here you have a guy who comes to America, clearly a smart guy, does very well here, good for him, made like $42 million last year, great. In a few years of getting here, decides to overturn our civic religion, and nobody says anything about it. Be gone. No. Elon Musk, also an immigrant to this country, by the way, comes here because he understands that freedom of speech is the whole reason you would want to live here in the first place. So the thing about Twitter before yesterday was that it was censoring people before you even knew you were censored. This is called shadow banning. Algorithms to suppress information, like the New York Post's accurate reporting on Hunter Biden's laptop. They did a lot of that, remember?
One of the things I'm most excited about in our efforts is to switch to proactive enforcement. I think that for too long we relied.
House has a moral responsibility if we are at a voting age and if we are registered to participate in that decision. I come here to urge every person, hold your conviction.
People reporting things to us, and I'm sorry about your experience and the reports that you get. I can't address those specific ones, but I do think enabling Twitter to be more proactive and actually identify this content to the extent that we can is going to make a big difference for people so that we can take action on this content before it even gets seen.
Yeah. So we can censor you before you even know you've been censored, and we're so confident in our total power over you. Think about it on TV. Now, that woman and her boss and a lot of other people at Twitter, the enemies of free expression, the enemies of freedom itself, they're all gone. Road talking their lunchboxes. This is a huge deal. It's hard to overstate how transformative this could be. The activist left believed it owned Twitter and the public conversation in this country more broadly. Why do they think that? Because for many years they have owned it. They have monopoly, and that monopoly has been broken. Everyone can talk, rich or powerful, powerless, doesn't matter. When everyone can talk, nothing will ever be the same. And the Democratic Party will be forced to defend its positions on their merits. Pulled a sitting president off Twitter. Now apparently he's running again. So how could you possibly defend censoring that candidate, Donald Trump? If you support democracy, are you really going to argue that a candidate can't talk? They're going to have to argue that. They're going to have to say that in public. What's that conversation going to look like? The Biden administration is in trouble because of this. Everything depends for them on censorship. Everything. They're going to do everything they can to shut Twitter down again. And they're going to do their best to destroy its new owner. And Elon Musk must know that. He's doing it anyway. And that's the definition of bravery. People assume always that billionaires can afford to be bold. Why? You're rich. But the opposite is true, actually. Look around. How many brave billionaires are there? Not many. Why? Because the more you have to lose. There's no such thing as FU money. There's only FU poverty. And yet the richest man in the world is risking it all to save free speech. Whatever you think of Elon Musk, and however this ends, that's a remarkable thing to watch. Harmeet Dillon is the CEO and founder of the Center for American Liberty, and she joins us tonight. Harmeet, thanks so much for coming on. You've devoted your entire life to defending free speech in the courts, and bless you for that. You're one of the very few who still does it. Does this seem like a big deal to you?
Well, it's a huge deal, Tucker, and I'm very excited. Now, Elon Musk, like you said, is taking a big risk by doing this. He's putting a target on his back. He's already done that. And, you know, my perspective has been that Twitter is so important to the public discourse here. I've actually sued Twitter on 2 occasions for 2 people with radically different political views, but both of whom were censored. Meghan Murphy was censored for stating truths about transgender people coming into women's bathrooms and spaces and creating threats. And Rogan O'Hanley was censored by our California government using a Biden vendor to take down his accurate speech questioning certain aspects of the 2020 election. Many of our other clients have been censored. You mentioned Project Veritas. Tulsi Gabbard is shadow banned, so many of us. And so I love the First Amendment and happy to see that the new owner of Twitter does as well. And I think that some of the things that he needs to do to immediately restore confidence in the value of this platform is, like he said, to open up the algorithms, to stop the shadow banning, to really open up and publish the records of all attempts by governments, by private corporations, by politicians to ask for censorship. We should all know what happened, and transparency is the first step to resolving the public trust in this very important platform. So even though I'm suing, I would love to see these improvements be made, and all of the noises he's making so far, yesterday's terminations of the most egregious anti-speech executives at Twitter, is a major first step. And now I hope Elon Musk hires the right people. People are policy. It's going to be very important for him to make sure that the new leaders of Twitter discard all of these bad old policies. And then I think, it is a absolutely open horizon for free speech on the internet now.
And tell us exactly when and how government colluded with social media platforms to squelch political speech. You make such a smart point in saying that. I wish I'd thought of that myself, but I hope that they will do that. We have an absolute right to know. Because that is, just really quickly, that is like a clear violation of the First Amendment, is it not?
I believe so, and that's what our lawsuits have been alleging. So far, courts haven't gone there. They need to. So the lawsuits are ongoing. I hope we can, move past them and speak freely.
Amen. Thank you for all you've done on behalf of Speaking Freely. Harmeet Dillon, appreciate it.
Thank you.
So you probably have the sense that Joe Biden has let a lot of people into this country illegally. You probably don't really have any idea how many. And when you find out, you'll be shocked. We were. We'll tell you after the break. First, we have breaking and sad news involving the husband of the Speaker of the House. That would be Paul Pelosi, 82, of San Francisco. Our West Coast News anchor, Trace Gallagher, is tracking these developments for us. Trace?
Thank you, Tucker. This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Trace Gallagher in Los Angeles. A suspect is behind bars following an attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband. Paul Pelosi is recovering after undergoing surgery to repair a skull fracture. The intruder, who reportedly called out, quoting, "Where's Nancy?" then beat Pelosi repeatedly with a hammer inside the couple's San Francisco home. Paul Pelosi also has serious injuries to his right arm and hand. The assault comes 11 days before the midterm elections and is being condemned on both sides of the political aisle.
I think we're looking at a time in our country where there is so much discourse that is fueled by hate and division. And anyone who professes to be a leader, I think, has to really understand the meaning and the impact of their words and their posture on things like this.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said this about the attack, quote, "Horrified and disgusted by the reports that Paul Pelosi was assaulted in his and Speaker Pelosi's home last night. Grateful to hear that Paul is on track to make a full recovery."
All right, I think I've done enough for right now. I'll be back in the morning. All right, guys, I'm out of here. If I'm not back in here tonight, I'll definitely be back in here early tomorrow morning, and see how much more of this shirt I can get filled in. It's a lot to go, but it's fun. I like it. So I'm definitely having a good time painting this. That's all it is, man. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.